to the 9-point circle, only to realize, anyway, so hopefully today, I was able to prove that the 9 points that are highlighted here are in fact concyclic. And so the circle containing them is what we refer to as the 9-point circle. Let's recall also the theorem statement because I have not yet finished the proof. I've only been able to do the major part. So what's the situation here? So we have A, B, and C. And then H is the center, so the intersection of the altitudes. O is the circumcenter, so it's the intersection of the perpendicular bisectors. And then H and O, when you connect them, what you get is the Euler line, and the Euler line also contains the centroid, the intersection of the medians. What I've highlighted in that black segment is point N, and N is the center of O and H. So what are the other points that are supposedly on the circle? We have A prime, B prime, and C prime. These are blue points, and they are the midpoints of the sides of the triangle. So those are the blue points. What are D, E, and F, on the other hand, the red points? These red points are the feet of the perpendiculars. Sorry, they are the feet of the altitudes. So AD is an altitude, so is BE, and also CF. Okay, so the midpoints, the blue points, the midpoints are the blue points. The feet of the altitudes are the red points. What are the green points on the other hand? So the green points are the points halfway through from each of the vertices to the orthocenter H. So AH has midpoint K, that's that green point. C going to H has midpoint M, and B going to H has midpoint L. So the blue points, which are the midpoints, the red points, which are the feet of the altitudes, and the halfway points from the vertices to the orthocenter H, they are apparently concyclic. They all lie on the same circle, and we call this circle the 9-point circle. So the fact that the 9 points are concyclic is not a trivial undertaking. That's what we have proven. What we ran out of time to do is to show that the center N of the center of the circle is the midpoint of H and O. Okay, so iyan ang gagawin natin ngayon. We already have some of the, wait, paano ko nga ba to gagawin? That N is the center. Okay. It's through the following. Okay, I'm going to do this.
Funny selection. Totally not going to do it.
Wala, hinighlight ko lang. Allow me to do it here. So, or dito na tayo sa September. Dito na sa September 28.
Dapat lagyan niya po sa title for the first time, 21 and 28.
Oh no!
Yay!
All right, that should make you happy. Why was it that copied? So, well, okay.
Bro.
Yun nga lang, I should send this to the back. Will I be able to do it order to the back? Send to back. Ha ha ha. Easy peasy.
It's run out of space.
Yun nga lang, medyo hindi aligned.
No! It happened.
You know what? I'm gonna. Sige, yun na nga, yun na. Okay. So, what remains to be shown. Okay. So pending task. Okay. Show that. Okay. N, which we're defining as the midpoint of OH, is the center of the 9-point circle of triangle ABC. Okay. What we are going to do is erase a lot of, I'm trying to decide which ones I'm going to erase, but ito nung gusto kong wait, I forgot. Ano nung hold on. Oh,
so today we are going to prove the 9-point circle, blah blah blah. Proof.
ano, sige, ano. Yeah.
Hmm. Funny.
Okay. Let's have a look at ito. Consider triangle KLM and
It is
triangle
smaller. It is mini ABC.
A prime, B prime, C prime. So KLM out of the green points, and then A prime, B prime, C prime, that's out of the blue points. KLM. So are you able to visualize them? KLM and A prime, B prime, C prime. What do you think is true about these two triangles?
They are congruent.
All right, they are congruent.
I think we can prove that kasi yung A prime, B prime, C prime is middle triangle, which is one half of the large triangle.
Sorry, what's that? What's that again?
The A prime, B prime, C prime is the middle triangle. So it is one half proportion of ABC.
Yeah, that's correct.
Similarly, KLM, since it is the, wait, how do I prove this? Whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, so from A to H, the midpoint, so it's like halfway. So if we can prove that KLM is somehow one half the scale of ABC.
Actually, we already did that kasi remember ito nung B, then wait, this is 2, then this is B, and then this is C, and then andito nung H, di ba? Dito nung H. How did we define L? L is the midpoint of BH.
Yes.
And then what about M? It's
Okay,
the
okay.
midpoint.
So
So no LM
is one half BC, and then similarly, KL is one half AB, and KM is one half AC. Nice.
Right. And because of the parallelism, so no LM and B prime C prime, they're both parallel to BC. Okay, so KLM, so it's clear now, KLM and A prime, B prime, C prime are parallel to each other. Sorry, not parallel, congruent. Okay.
How can two ano pala po? How can two figures be parallel? The two-dimensional figures be parallel.
How can two? Sorry, I meant congruent. So you're talking about parallel. Well, parallelism is something that's relevant for lines. So kung hindi naman lines tong tinutukoy, I suppose if you want, you can like define these to be parallel triangles, but of course it's really an abuse of language. So I guess you could call them parallel because their corresponding sides are parallel, but the corresponding sides are lines. But then once you talk about circles, there are no lines here. All right, so you can't really describe them as being
Pero
parallel.
technically po, 'di ba yung ano, yung curves can be sort of parallel if you take the envelope of the circles, certain circles.
So which ones are going to be parallel?
Certain curves po. Let's say yung sine wave and then sabi. Uh
Ah,
you can you can
I guess
you can like
yes.
gagawin niyo
You
po yung yung mga kumbaga yung i-expand niyo po everything i-thicken niyo po yung lines by putting the same yung same na
okay?
ano po same distance
Okay. But
all
but
around.
ultimately, kasi ultimately it's an issue of how you define parallelism. So I know ibang usapan to, but it's okay. Let's explore this. So ito, I'm thinking of y equals x. Right? You were thinking of the sine curve, di ba? You were thinking of the sine curve. Pero kasi usually when you think of parallelism, halimbawa ito, from here to here, and then from here to here, they're same. So nung two segments na yun, same distance. And then from here to here, and then from here to here, so equal sila. And why did you consider, for example, ito, this segment as opposed to this other segment, nung dashed? Not the dashed segment, you would say, because you need a 90-degree angle there. So you need perpendicularity with the two curves that you are comparing. Now you mentioned the sine curve, but instead of the sine curve, let's take for example, y equals x squared plus 1, which is obviously merely a translation, a vertical translation of y equals x squared. So in a certain sense, one might consider these two to be parallel to each other. However, if you now think in terms of distances, paano, I mean, halimbawa ito, consider mo to, this is 1 unit. Pero ito, ano nung corresponding partner niya? Kasi one might think yun yung partner niya, pero look, hindi na siya 1 unit, not 1 unit. So if you want to define parallelism in terms of nung same distances, I guess you could, but then you're
Kumbaga,
gonna have to
isip mo,
clarify
kumbaga yung sa
anong
curve po.
distance.
Opo.
So nung ganito, nung vertical.
Opo. Yung sa inside or sa outside ng curve.
Okay.
Magano po
But
kayang
then for this illustration, hindi sila parallel kasi from here to here, ayan, hindi na yan 1 unit.
opo.
You mean for from here to here. So ganun. Actually hindi to 1 unit
Hindi po
pero
actually ganyan. Yung ano po parang, di ba po may, yung derivative po of the functions na sa point na
will
yun.
be the slope of the
Tapos,
tangent line.
yun po yung lalagyan na po ng yun po yung lalagyan na po ng perpendicular.
Yun ang ano. All right, all right, all right.
Kumbaga po
So,
parang sa hill po, may circle
mm,
po. I-quote niyo po yung ano na yung barrel by with
okay.
with paint. Tapos ang
All
gagawin niyo po,
right. So I get it where we can use the slopes of the tangent line. Pero kasi 'di ba Joshua, if you look at different points, the tangent lines are going to be different. So if you look at y equals x squared plus 1, and then I'm going to mark this as point A, and from point A, you can find the slope using the derivative. Okay, dito naman sa graph of y equals x squared, what corresponding point are we going to use on which to build up on which to consider the parang ito ba? Is it point B or is it going to be this one
di ba?
where the slope is the same? So no point C.
Abo.
I guess yes. Ultimately, you can come up with a definition just as long as consistent sila and yeah, I guess you could call therefore y equals x squared and y equal to x squared plus 1 in this case parallel. parallel. All right, I guess you could do that. Okay, so para mangyari, to any point in y equals x plus 1, meron corresponding point in the graph of y equals x squared. They don't have to be vertically aligned, pwedeng pa slant na. So I guess okay lang yun. In the same way, for example, if you have the circle, one can consider that to be parallel to, for example, this circle. Kasi pwede rin yun eh. Okay.
Same curvature.
So pwede rin yun. It's just an issue of, well, yeah, I suppose you could. But anyway, going back here, KLM and A prime, B prime, C prime are congruent. Okay, and then what I am going to argue, okay, is the following. Okay, H is the orthocenter of ABC by definition. Okay, question: what is the orthocenter of the first triangle KLM?
Ten ten ten. It is it seems like it's also
Ganito.
center of the original.
What's the orthocenter of KLM?
Sandali. Sandali pa nawa.
Yan. Okay, so wala.
Sige.
Hindi ko ginalaw wala.
Hello po. Nadidinig niyo po kami, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So KLMS orthocenter somewhere. It seems like the orthocenter is also H, but I don't know.
Okay,
Is it?
actually it is. So ngayon, but let's convince ourselves that it is the orthocenter. Ano ba ng orthocenter? It's the intersection of the altitudes.
I mean,
Okay.
ano ko na po. The altitudes of ABC, they KLM
contain-
KLNM pass through the altitudes of the big triangle ABC.
Okay, so therefore,
Altitudes would be exactly, it would just be a line segment of the part of the altitudes. So they will that if maybe if we can prove na it doesn't have maybe the orthocenter doesn't have to be in the triangle itself. Anyway, so
it
the
doesn't
point
have
of
to be, but
concentration,
it,
the point of that concurrency will still be the same.
yes. You're talking about the orthocenter. You're right. The orthocenter doesn't have to be inside the triangle. Halimbawa, ito, especially if you have an obtuse triangle. Ito pala mo, ng altitude from A down to BC, ng altitude niya, wala na sa loob ng triangle. Okay, and the orthocenter has to be on that line. And clearly from this figure, the orthocenter is not A. So in fact, for this triangle, the orthocenter is going to be outside the triangle, and it's very much all right. After all, when we talk about orthocenters, we're looking at the intersection. Well, we say the intersection of the altitudes, but strictly speaking, we mean the intersection of the lines containing the altitudes. Okay, the intersection of the lines containing the altitudes. Ang mga centers lang that are definitely gonna be inside the triangle nung median, kasi nung median, nasa loob lang siya eh. Tapos, so nung centroid, nasa loob.
Center.
The in center,
Must
nasa loob din. Pero nung orthocenter, the intersection of the altitudes, and also the circumcenter, pwedeng nasa labas.
Yung ano
ng
po,
triangle.
yung na-gel point, nasa loob dapat. Kasi yung X-touch points nasa loob din po eh.
Alright. Ano ulit yung na-gel point? Nalimutan ko na.
Yung ano
Siya
po naman
bilis ko
split,
malimutan.
yung ano po naman splitter. Eh, from A to ano po. Yun po, actually pwede na gamitin yan. Yung figure.
Okay, nung splitter.
From
So,
A to
nalimutan
T,
ko.
etc. po. B to TB.
Sige. But I suppose we discussed that previously nung na-gel point. Nandito. Okay. Ako talaga, pag ang dami na kailangan ko na ng reminder. Ano itong mga ito nalilito na. Yeah, so, but I remember the smart fellow, the fart smell. So the gel point is the concurrency of the X touch points, which the X circle. Is that true even if you have an obtuse triangle? Yeah, kasi from
The
B.
X-touch points cannot possibly be outside po of the triangle.
Okay, the X touch points like TA and TB and TC. You know what? You're right. Okay, so therefore you're right. Yes. Now it's clear to me that the gel point is in the interior of the triangle. So nasa loob siya.
Yung ano na po, yung Shergon point. Kasi dapat yung mga in center nasa loob din.
Right. Ito nung ano ulit ito nung definition. It's naman with the in touch points. Right. Okay, the in touch points.
Labo.
Okay. Kasi these champions are inside the triangle. The altitude kasi, an altitude is not contained within. Okay, so kaya pwedeng lumabas ang orthocenter. Okay. So KLM has orthocenter H. So as you mentioned, it's because the altitude through A contains the altitude of KLM through K. Okay, so the A altitude of triangle ABC
At saka ano pala po,
contains.
I found yung ano po, yung para from up yung the shortest distance from a point to a line. Or you can or a line segment. You can express it by using yung vertical bar po.
Sorry, is this still this or dun sa issue of parallelism?
Yan po, yung A altitude, it can be expressed by a vertical bar BC.
So ganito.
Hindi po, A tapusan yung parang pipe character. Parang sa parallel po pero isa lang.
Vertical.
This?
Yan po.
This last one, tama?
Abo.
Oh, okay. This is new notation to me. So ito nung, it's the segment from A down to BC. Parang projection. Okay, nung shortest path. Gotcha. Oh, okay. That's handy. Yes. All right. Okay. So KLM has orthocenter H. So, and then KLM and A prime, B prime, C prime, they are congruent. So my next question is, paano naman C, A prime, B prime, C prime? What is its orthocenter?
Ten, ten, ten.
What you think?
It looks like it's the circumcenter of the ABC. Circumcenter.
Okay. So question now is,
How do we
How
prove
do
it?
we justify that?
Hmm. Mm, eh, eh, mm, uh, I don't know. Okay. So the wait, actually I found out po the circumcircle of the KLM and A prime, B prime, C prime is actually the 9-point circle itself.
Oh, right.
Funny. Hmm.
Yeah, because they're concyclic. A prime, B prime, C prime, and K, L, M. So they share the same circumcircle, which is the 9-point circle in purple here.
Okay, so the orthocenter of A prime, B prime, C prime. How do I put that? Uh-huh.
So we have point O there. We want to show O is the orthocenter of A prime, B prime, C prime. In other words, the intersection of the altitudes.
The
So we are looking at, so what's the orthocenter of A prime, B prime, C prime? We're going to have to look at the A prime altitude, the B prime altitude, and the C prime altitude. Do they contain O?
okay. Or maybe it could be supposed that A prime, I mean, no, then not really. Okay, I can't apply this anymore. Uh,
Is A prime O perpendicular to B prime C prime?
I mean, A prime is the what? This the midpoint of BC, and O
Mhm,
is perpendicular to that because it's the perpendicular bisector.
mhm.
So if you continue it, I mean, since B prime C prime is parallel to BC, so if you
Yes,
continue OA prime, then it will also be perpendicular to B prime C prime. Similarly,
yes.
for the other points B prime and C,
Uh,
they will also be their altitudes, the altitudes corresponding those points to A prime, B prime, C prime will also pass through the circumcenter of ABC.
all right. So now do you see it? A prime, B prime, C prime has orthocenter O.
Okay. Abo.
Okay. So again, the argument is, so observe how B prime, C prime. So the answer here is yes. Okay. So reason. So ganito. Note that B prime, C prime is parallel to BC. Okay. And furthermore, okay, O A prime is parallel to BC. So how do we know OA prime is parallel to BC? That's because A prime is the midpoint of BC, and so the perpendicular bisector of BC passes through A prime. But O, being the circumcenter, is on that perpendicular bisector. So therefore, OA prime is perpendicular to BC. But then B prime C and BC are parallel. So from these two geometric facts, it follows that OA prime is perpendicular to B prime C prime. In other words, O is in the A prime altitude. Okay. O, okay. O is in the A prime, okay, A prime altitude of B prime C prime, and then also in the B prime, actually A prime altitude, and then B prime altitude, and C prime altitude of triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay, so here we are. KLM has orthocenter H. A prime, B prime, C prime has orthocenter O. So then what we're gonna do is exercise a little bit of imagination because I won't be able to demonstrate it, but imagine, ganito, no? Okay, take triangle, let's say K, L, M, okay, and then actually, okay, rotate triangle, rotate the 9,
Auto-rotational translation.
yeah, not exactly translation, so rotation lang. So rotational transformation. Pag translation kasi, i-push mo lang to a certain direction. So for example, if you do a translation, itong line na to, you move it here, you don't change the slope. You don't change the slope when you do a translation. But if you do a rotation, so much change no slope. Okay, so because we're changing slopes, we're not doing a translation, but rather a rotation. So rotate the 9-point circle, bringing triangle KLM into triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. And we know that it's going to be exact that when you do the rotation, where so nung KLM, it would now occupy the space taken by triangle A prime, B prime, C prime.
Abo.
Diba?
Yeah.
Okay. So they would occupy A prime, B prime, C prime. And we know there's not going to be overlap. I mean, that's why you pointed out that KLM and A prime, B prime, C prime, they are congruent to each other. Okay. But then when you do that, any special point or any point in KLM would now be over the corresponding point in triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. So this rotation would bring H to O. So kapag iikutin mo nung 9-point circle, all right, pag iikutin mo nung 9-point circle, then nung point H, mapupunta siya sa point O. So it's not just the points on the circle that you are rotating, but also the points inside. And also all points inside.
Kumbaga po, parang copy-paste pero renotate na ba?
Oh, so yeah, copy paste, but hindi ko magagawa. Even if I copy paste it, I don't think I have a way to rotate things here. So pero nung H, eventually it will correspond with point O. However, ganito, when you rotate when you rotate a circle, either clockwise or counterclockwise, all points would move except one point. What would that be? What point will stay fixed in its position?
The nin point circle, the nin point center.
And then, just think of a circle. So ito, kunwari, i-rotate natin. So ito, ano yan? Ano ang hindi magbabago ng
Center.
the center? Okay. The center of the circle would stay fixed. However, as you move H going to O, what we imagine happening is that the segment OH will also be rotated. When we rotate HO, the segment HO, ano ang magsa-stay fixed in segment HO? So let's say you have a segment and then you're gonna rotate this. Ang magsa-stay fixed would be the midpoint. Okay, but then that's the only point that would stay fixed, and HO
So
is
therefore, the 9 point
inside
center
the.
is the midpoint.
Yes, so that's it.
Mind blown.
The center of the circle is I think it's relevant, is the only point that would stay fixed. So therefore, if there is another point that would stay fixed, it must be the same point. So however, when we rotate HO, the center N stays fixed. Okay, thus N is the center of the circle. Yay! Okay. N is the center of the circle. So now we know 4 special points on the Euler line: the orthocenter, the circumcenter, the centroid, and M, which is the center of the 9-point circle, which is incidentally the midpoint of O and H. And then before I forget, so let's use circles.
What? Green circle.
Green circles. Okay. Ha, may white portion na natira, parang I.
It's parang siyang moon po na naiilawan.
Okay. Prove that
Celestial object.
A, K, A prime O is a parallelogram. This refers to the same configuration. Okay. A, K, A prime O. So you could look at asanong A, K, and then A prime O. You can see that it's a parallelogram. Okay. So that's one. And then next. So in the same configuration,
Rock. Proteus. Not even circular.
the points K, L, and M bisect the respective arcs EF, FD, and DE of the 9-point circle. Let's look at the figure. So you have the 9-point circle in purple, and then if you look at asanong arc EF, ito yon. Ito ng arc EF in red. And as you can see, the point K seems to be halfway through that arc. And then apparently it's the same story for L and M being midpoints of those arcs. So let me erase the red part. Oh, okay, not the others, but just the orange part, just new one. Okay, so sorry din nakapagbigay last time. So ngayon. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun,
And
dun.
one more. Okay, isa pa.
The vertical ellipsis. Triple thread.
Okay. The circumcenter, sorry, the circumcircle of triangle ABC is the 9-point circle of I sub A, I sub B, I sub C. And ulit ng I sub A is the AX center.
Oh, okay, so this is the, anong bang tawag dito? X triangle?
Yeah,
X.
wait, we had X triangle ba? We had,
Meron na tayo nakita eh.
oh,
Parang
hinanap mo na nung term na yun eh.
triangle ba?
Hinanap mo nung term na yun, di ko,
Triangle composed of the...
the centers. Okay. Tapos, enough na ba to or dagdagan ko pa?
Yeah, no,
Ito na muna.
but how?
Ito na muna. All right. For now, okay? Anyway, it's only been, hey, wala pa tayo sa halfway point ng discussion ng session. So, pwede pang madagdagan. Anyways, you don't have to submit all of these at the same time. And to be honest, as you can see, wala nang calculation dito, di ba? Wala nang find the area, find the slope, find the or whatever. This is now try to come up with an argument. So yun yung exercise natin ngayon, come up with an argument. Okay. We were talking slightly about transformations, and I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss another approach to proving that those 9 points are actually concyclic. But instead, I'd like to do it in the context of a special transformation. There are lots of different geometric transformations. I'd like to talk about what's referred to as a homothety. So it should be time to start on a new page, September 28th.
No! What if you, ano po, malipat niyo po lahat nung nasa September 28 portions to September 21?
Sige, lagay ko September 21 and September 28. Paano kung may isang theorem sa September 28 na hindi ko matapos, tapos sisimulan ko next time, di i-continue ko doon. Doon sa same page. Paano yan? Kasi kung October na yun, di trigger ang mga pagka-OC natin. Nasa September tayo.
Magkano na
Okay.
po, magkano dapat po yung, we need to abduct, Bill Gates and tell him po, you must make, OneNote be able to simultaneously, simultaneously quantum entangle
Alright.
both,
nga eh.
both
Oh my
sections.
gosh.
So,
I
it can
suppose it's just a matter of assignment. Some pages being assigned to different sections. So parang nag-merge, nag-intersect ng mga sections.
Venn diagram sections.
So what's a homothety? It's a transformation which sends a point on the plane to another point subject to certain rules. So you mentioned earlier some terms, for example, a translation. So halimbawa, what is a translation? Let's say we have the segment A, B, okay, and then if you transfer that to the following segment, C, D, okay? So A is sent to C, and then B is sent to, oops, okay, andun dapat ng point D, haha. Okay. So for this to be, so translation is a transformation that preserves distances. So for example, the length of AB is still the length of CD. So pareho. Tapos, the slope of AB is same as the slope of CD. Are you familiar with vectors?
Yes, partially.
Vectors. Okay, so parang nangyari, we started with point A and then we moved it in the direction of vector AC. So vector AC is the same as vector BD.
How can you
So that's
distinguish
what
AC, vector AC from ray AC?
As far as the notation is concerned, I don't think we can. So the distinction would happen based on the context. So are we talking about a geometric object or a vector?
Yung vector po dapat, yung arrow nasa baba. Tapos yung ray nasa taas.
Ano sa vector, so you've seen that kind of notation where the arrow is below.
Dapat po we should propose na dapat nasa baba na lang po yung vector.
I suppose nung human factor na magka-come in dito kasi nung vectors you've been using arrowheads on top for a long time. And then
Para magulo po lahat ng mga mathematician.
so that's the goal pala, para magulo. Akala ko you're gonna bring order to chaos. No, you're gonna fuel chaos to breed more chaos. Okay. So, tas marami pang mga rotations. So hopefully we get the chance to do that. But what's a homothety? A homothety has lots to do with similarity. So a homothety, or sometimes it's referred to as a dilation.
So
Okay.
it is an expansion of the thing.
Yes, expansion or contraction. So we have the following two ingredients. Okay, a center O, which is to be considered a fixed point, and a scalar, a real number K. So note that I'm only stating here K to be an element of R, so that means it can be greater than 1 or smaller than 1. It could even be a negative number. And instead of writing down a definition, let me just present an illustration. So here is point O, and here are 3 points from a triangle A, B, and then C. And then a homothety is a transformation that brings A going to, let's call it A prime, such that the distance of O from A prime is K times the distance or the length of segment OA. So kung ito nung OA, okay, so nung image niya will be here. Let's say the scaling factor, let's say the value of K is 2. So andito nung A prime. And then B prime is going to be, hold on. B, and then C. All right. So O to B, and then we want actually here think of K as 3 kasi OA prime seems to be triple OA. All right, and then here is B prime, and then okay, so andito banda nung C prime, and okay.
Parang shadow po.
So wait, this is C. Instead of A prime, I might instead use H of A. Okay, so if you look at AB, the image or the transformation of AB is A prime, B prime. In fact, so I could denote that as, so ito, you could denote this as H of AB. And then the triangle itself, triangle ABC is mapped towards, when I say mapped towards, so that means A prime, B prime, C prime is the resulting set of points for the image. So I could also denote that by H, where H is the homothety, H of triangle ABC. Okay, so what do we get out of a homothety? Okay, so distances are magnified or contracted. So here, this is an illustration where K is greater than 1. Pwede rin naman na we have a negative homothety. So for instance, let me copy this. So lagay natin dito. Okay. And then let me erase this. Ayun na magpa-erase. So i-extend natin ng ng lines. So ito so all right. So this is a negative it's the same center O but a different scaling factor K. So this time K is negative. So andito so this is where we see A prime and then B prime is here. Okay. B prime and then hold on. Hindi na collinear ng mga points. So dapat a point on which we apply a transformation and the resulting point, they should be collinear with the center. So I need to know B prime, and then C prime is
This reminds me a lot of yung parang lens.
Lens, yes. Oh, actually, it seems like that's precisely what's going on. Okay, wait, maybe a different color for better contrast
Para po
would
siyang
be
yung
appropriate.
image mo sa pinhole camera.
Yes, and sa optics, diba, may minsan na-i-invert nung image. All right. All right. So what we also have here is a homothety. Okay, and then observe that in a homothety, we get to lengths are not preserved. For example, if you look at AB and its image A prime, B prime, they are not of the same length anymore. Okay, but mangyayari, lengths are magnified by the factor K. Okay, lengths are magnified by the factor K. So magnified, pwede rin, we usually use the term magnified to denote something being made larger. But of course, if K is equal to 1/2, then mas lumiliit, so nagko-contract. And then nung K, in fact, pwede pa nga ma-invert, magpunta doon sa other side of the center by using a negative scale factor.
What do you call magnified? What's the antonym of magnified?
Contraction, ng mathematical term na ginagamit. So lengths are I suppose the neutral term would be scaled. So lengths are scaled by the factor 1/2 or the factor -3. Okay, so homotheties. What do homotheties preserve? Okay, homotheties preserve angles. So for example, if you look at this figure, and then you consider this angle, itong angle na to, you see that it's also the same angle here.
Nice.
Okay, it's going to be the same angle, primarily because if you look at AB and A prime, B prime, they're parallel to each other. So AB is parallel to A prime, B prime. So if you have a segment, if you look at the image, the projection, the resulting segment would have a different length, but it's going to be parallel. All right. It's all because if you look at from the center, so how do we know you have that parallelism between AP and A prime, B prime? It's because if you look at triangle AOB, this is similar to triangle A prime OB prime. Okay? So bakit sila,
Ganun po na triangles.
ano yan?
Tatlong similarity po.
So marami tayong mga similarity, and then you could work out through the corresponding angles which are the same. So nung angles which are marked, we can conclude that they are also going to be congruent. Okay, so homothety works well when one understands similarities. Kasi what you're exploiting are similarities. But how do we know AOB and A prime, O prime, B prime are similar triangles to begin with? It's because of the scale factor. Kasi yun, OA prime is K times OA, and similarly, OB prime is K times OB. So if you take these two equations together and you solve for K, from the first statement, K is OA prime over OA. And then sa second, K is OB prime over OB. And from this equation, kita mo yun, no? OA prime over OA is equal to OB prime over OB. That's how you conclude the similarity between these two triangles, AOB and AO prime B prime. So homotheties preserve angles. Ano pa nung mga nagpe-preserve? Tangencies are also preserved. Tangencies and circles, they're also going to be preserved. So what do I mean by that? Let's say we have the following center. This is the fixed point O. And then consider the following circle. So in this illustration, the circle does not contain the point O. But when you apply homothety, so mangyayari, when you whether the scale factor is positive or negative or larger than 1 in magnitude or less than 1, kunwari larger than 1. So the image is going to be much farther. So if you consider, so let's say this, so let's say this is the center, and then this is the point of tangency from point O. So kung yun yung point of tangency. Okay. So the images of the center and the point of tangency would be, let's say, ito. Let's use a different color, blue. All right. Pero ito, if you get, if you have a 90-degree angle here, if you have a 90-degree angle there, then dito, it should also be a 90-degree angle. Okay, because of the many similarities. So the angles are going to be preserved. Okay, also tangencies. Tapos, so itong point na to, for example, this point, it would get projected to, let's say, this point. Okay, so basically, if you take the small circle, nung image niya would be also a circle. Okay, so magiging circle then. Okay, I guess it's because, for example, if you look at the small circle, what defines it is that from any point on the circle to the center, pare-pareho nung distances. Okay, but then when you do a homothety, every segment just gets magnified from the same thing. So kung ito nung image ng center, okay, tapos if you look at the distances Okay? Kunwari, the scale factor just doubles, then mangyayari, nung radius, madodouble lang. So all these new points would still have essentially the same distance from the new center. Okay, so homotheties preserve angles, tangencies, and circles. And later on, let's look at other properties. Okay, but I wanted to talk about this, itong homothety, kasi I want to discuss 9-point circles using homotheties. Okay, so ginawa natin sa 9-point circle, we showed that those 9 points are concyclic by using different geometric arguments. I want to use homotheties to show alternatively why they are going to be concyclic. Okay, so gagamitan natin ng homothety. But for now, let's try to get used to homotheties first before tayo mag-jump in to applying it. Ito theorem.
Secondary color.
Ano yan? Sorry?
Secondary color.
A second.
Yun kanina
Back.
pong yun pala yung kasi hindi namin naiintindihan masyado yun isang proof do sa YouTube.
Which one? About
About 9-point circle. So he presented three proofs, tapos yung isa, yun pala yan po, homotheties pala.
anong homothety? Iyan siguro nung ginagamit. Okay. So ito, we want here about homotheties. Let A, B, C, and X, Y, Z be wait. Okay. One more thing about a homothety. Ito. Let's consider two non-congruent parallel segments. So given segments AB and XY, and then AB and XY are parallel, but they have different lengths. So AB is not equal to XY. So let's say, so this is A, B, and then XY. Okay. Whenever you have two parallel segments, you can always cook up a homothety between those two segments. So what do I mean by that? Nung XY, we can consider that as the image of a homothety applied to AB, or vice versa. Pwedeng you have a homothety and then it transforms XY, and the result is segment AB. So what's the justification for that? Well, first we have to identify what the center of the homothety is. So here the idea is that, okay, there is a homothety which sends AB to XY. All right. So one so pwede natin gawin. Let's connect XA and YB. Okay. Let them intersect at a point. Let's call that O. Okay. Let XA and YB intersect at a point O. And then the claim is that O is the center of the homothety that we are looking for. Okay. And then what is the scale factor? Okay. Then the homothety, okay, we are looking for has center O and scale factor, check na lang natin ano nung OA divided, or rather OX divided by OA. Okay, OX divided by OA. Okay, observe from the figure that because AB and XY are parallel, then that means OAB and OXY are similar triangles. So that means OA over OB equals OX over OY. And so consequently, OX, sorry, I was saying OX, but I wrote down OA. So consequently, OX over OA equals OY over OB. So nung common value nila, ito nung gagamitin natin na scale factor. So OX over OA. And so we know that A is set to X, nung B, on the other hand, is set to Y and no other point. And how do we know that? Because OY over OB is also K. Okay, and the same can be said for any other point. So halimbawa, if you have this point, itong point C, okay, that's going to be set to a point which must be on XY. Okay, so the image of the homothety applied to C. So it would have to be there on XY. So anytime we see two parallel lines, and in fact, in the setup, I have A closer to X than B, but even if the orientation was different, kunwari, ito nung XY, and then let's say this is andito nung A, andito nung B. Okay, so in this case, when you take XA and YB, okay, so that point of intersection, that will be the center of homothety. Okay, after all, nung claim natin, there exists a homothety, pero pwedeng nung X corresponds to the one on the opposite, and Y corresponds to the other point on the opposite. So in that case, mag-iiba lang ng center of the homothety. But as soon as you have these parallel segments, then meron tayong homothety. Question though, I required AB to not be equal to XY. What would be the issue if they had the same length?
They will not intersect parallel.
So as in the first figure, hindi sila magi-intersect. Okay, but if you wanted a homothety which flips things, so kahit equal sila, let's say ito no X and then Y, and this is A to B, then there is no homothety which makes A correspond to X and B correspond to Y. Because if you extend these dashed lines, they're not going to intersect because AX and BY would be parallel. However, there is a homothety which pairs up A with Y and B with X. So this would be the center of the homothety if in case AB and XY happen to be congruent segments. All right, so the idea there, you have two parallel segments, you can make them correspond through some particular homothety. Okay, and then what I was writing down earlier, okay, for us to get used to homotheties, let triangle ABC and triangle XYZ be non-congruent triangles. Hold on, there seems to be someone at the gate. Is it for us or?
Is it or is it not? That is the question.
Yeah, hold on. Wait, I had the delivery earlier. Has it already been sent? Let me just check, huh? I sent an item for delivery. Image and then drop off point.
Suspicious.
Sige.
Okay. So let ABC and XYZ be non-congruent triangles such that AB is parallel to XY and BC is parallel to YZ and CA is parallel to ZX. Okay. So drawing tayo. So you have A, B, and then C. And then X, Y, Z. In fact, I wanted to draw X, Y, Z either internally or externally. Pero sige, gawin natin pareho. Ito, all right. X, Y, Z. Pero in fact, pwede rin naman ganito. A, B, C, and then how about X, Y, Z was like this. Oops. X, and then X, Y, Z. Okay, so what's the claim? Then lines AX, BY, CZ concur at some point O, and O is the center of a homothety which maps triangle ABC to triangle XYZ. Okay. So first, the issue of concurrence. AX, BY, and CZ. So let's first look at the intersection of AX and BY. AX and BY. And let's call that point of intersection O. AX and BY. Okay, that point of intersection, let's call it O. Okay, the first claim is concurrence. So what we want to show is that ZC also contains point O. So in other words, we want to show that ZCO are all collinear. Okay, so let lines AX and BY intersect at O. We want to show that ZCO are collinear. Okay, this can be done by, paano ba natin to magagawa? Okay.
Menelaus theorem.
Kasi may concurrency, no? Pero not necessarily though. We're gonna use the parallelism of the three sides. So parang ano yun parang nuclear nung ginagamit mo ano pwedeng gamit tayo ng ano ng similar triangles. So ganito,
Me when ano,
You cleared agad.
me
Oh,
after I spot the
Small bird.
a small hindi a small spider that scared me, so I nuke the entire world and destroy it.
mhm. So ito, in fact, gusto ko lang gamitin parallelism. Kasi ganito, we found O courtesy of A, B, and X, Y. And parang nung O is the center of the homothety, which maps AB to XY from the thing that we did here earlier. Okay? Pero kasi di ba, since CA and ZX are parallel, there's also a center of homothety which brings CA to ZX. Okay, so ito, let lines AX and BY intersect at O. Okay, so from this, the O is the center of the homothety, which maps AB to XY. Okay, with scale factor K, where K is OX divided by OA. Okay. Now, on the other hand, because CA and ZX, okay, similarly, since AC and XZ, if P is the intersection of, so ang gagawin naman natin ngayon, ang pag-i-intersect natin, so to drawing ko dito sa side na to, here. This is Z, and then this is X, and then this is A and C. Red naman. Okay. Nung AX and ZC, let them intersect at point P. So P would be the center of the homothety, which maps AC to XZ. Of AX and ayan, CZ, then P is the center of the homothety, which maps AC to XZ with scale factor J naman, J. So it brings A going to X. Okay, and P, so J is equal to PX over PA. Okay. Now what? Okay. Okay. I want to show K and J are the same, and the centers of homothety P and O are the same. Right now, parang hindi ko pa kaya yon. Okay, but all I know is that O and P are both on line AX. Okay, do I know that O and P are the same? Not yet, but all I know is that O and P are both on line AX. O and P are on line AX. Tapos, Hmm. Andali lang ah. Parang napahirap to ah. Hold on. Okay. Tadadandun, tadadandun. All right. Um, wait. Maybe maybe I regroup. Okay, balik ako. So I want to show ano to? Collinear C, O, C, and Z.
Menelaus theorem.
Menelaus theorem agad. All right.
Hindi po mahanap yun ano, yung maliit na ano, ninyok na.
Menelaus theorem.
Pero kasi Menelaus theorem, may triangle ka, di ba? Tapos, when you use Menelaus theorem, ano ba ginagawa natin? You have a line which intersects the three sides. Ito, and then ito, and then ito. And then from Menelaus theorem, because those 3 points are collinear, then you get to come up with an equation. But this is primarily for the collinearity of 3 points. However, we are here arguing for the concurrency of 3 lines. So hindi Menelaus.
Cheva's
Okay,
theorem.
kasi haha, pero Cheviot naman kasi ng ano eh. So unless i-extend natin and then we're gonna cook up halimbawa ng intersection dito is this particular point, we're gonna have to measure x to that point and then y to that point.
It looks oddly similar to an eccentric.
Hold on. Paano ba gagawin ko dito? So, yan, I just need to 2 minutes or 1 minute.
Laki. Dali. Dati nahihirapan pa ako ngayon. Ganun na. With ease lang. Kaya pang yung hindi tumatama. Oops, tumatama. Hindi tatama. Kaya mo ba?
I think I got it. I think I got it. Okay. Let me erase this. Okay. So I was stuck there. I just paused. If hindi ko siya ma-solve, then I would say solve not the next time. Sometimes that happens. And I'm at peace. If that happens, okay lang. Hindi ko ma-solve ngayon, then I'm gonna try again. Okay. Pero right now, since I'm not panicking, so I think I was able to think it up. I don't need this point P anymore. Okay. So here's what we have right now. There is a homothety with center O and it maps AB to XY. It brings A to X and it brings B going to Y. Okay. What I need to do is show that if I use the same homothety, so the same center O, and I apply it to point C, then my goal is to show that the image of C, the corresponding point, it should be point Z. Okay, so ito, apply the homothety to segment AC. The image is a segment, or how about ganito? Apply the homothety to para malinaw to line AC. The image is a line through X. Okay, so how do we know it's through X? Kasi nung point A, ang image niya under the homothety is point X. So yun yung partner niya. So therefore, nung line AC, which contains A, the image should be a line through X. And furthermore, it should be parallel to line AC. So the image is a line through X, which is parallel to AC. And then next, apply the homothety to line BC naman. Okay, to line BC. Now the image under the homothety of B is Y. So therefore, no corresponding image ng BC should be a line through Y and parallel to BC. The image is a line through Y, which is parallel to BC. Okay. However, okay, what is the intersection of AC and BC? Ano intersection ng AC and BC? Of course, it's point C, diba? But now, if you look at these, line through X and parallel to AC, and line through Y, which is parallel to BC, balik tayo sa figure. Line through X, parallel to AC, so ito yon. Line through X, parallel to AC, and line through Y, parallel to BC. What's the intersection of those lines? What's the intersection of those lines? The intersection is point
B. Wait lang po.
point Z. All right. So point Z.
BC. Wait lang.
Naka-green.
So sa mga iba naman points po, mag-a-apply din.
So ibig sabihin, so ganito, nung so kasi nung line AC, ang image niya is XZ, and nung BC, ang image niya is YZ. All right, and then nung AC and BC, they intersect at C, and then nung two other lines, the one through X and the one through Y, which are shown in the figure, they intersect through Z. So ang mangyayari nung intersection, dapat sila din na magko-correspond to each other. So therefore, nung Z, siya ng image ni C. So actually, that's it. So C is the image of Z, and well, because Z is the image of C, so collinear sila, and it's the same homothety we're talking about. So therefore, we're talking about the same scale factor here. So that's it. Therefore, the image of C, which is the intersection of lines AC and BC is the intersection of the image lines above, which is Z. All right. So yeah, the homothety does bring ABC towards XYZ. So again, whenever you have two triangles and then the three sides of one are parallel to the three sides of the other, then there is a homothety which brings either triangle to the other. Okay. Okay. So now I said, as I promised, we're gonna talk about the 9-point circle.
The
Okay.
9-point circle.
9-point circle. Let me do it in GeoGebra. Tapos ko-copyhin ko na lang.
Blah, blah, blah. Imagine if GeoGebra and Microsoft had an agreement. So you can do GeoGebra in Microsoft OneNote.
Sana, no, that would be nice.
Fun.
Okay. Algebra, and then graphics. All right, but nope. Like that. And then, okay, hold on. And hang. All right, okay.
Oh, good.
So ABC. A, B, C. All right, and then I can move them around, and then here are the sides. Okay, and I don't need the labels for the sides kasi pampagulo lang sila. Why? Okay, allow me to select. Okay,
Me after GeoGebra.
okay. Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
for bad.
back.
Okay, so B and then C. Okay, what I would like to draw is the circumcircle. The circle through the 3 points A, B, C. All right. Okay, and for now, I don't need the label for the circumcircle. It is clear from the figure, this is the circumcircle because it passes through the 3 points.
What if
Okay.
what if it could be a circle that just doesn't pass through the 3 points, it just barely over the 3 points. Talagang there must be
That's a different circle. Okay.
there must be a
Parang you're,
ridiculous proof.
uh, imagine that's the surface of the planet, and then that circle you're referring to is a satellite that orbits around the planet. It is parallel to the circle based on the definition we considered earlier about parallel figures. Okay, so that's what you're talking about. All right, so ganito. Let us. I'd like to label. Okay, so the 3 points A, B, and C are fine as they are. Oh, by the way, I also need the circumcenter and the orthocenter. Okay, so that O, that's the center of this circle labeled C. So this is point O. Okay, and then for the orthocenter, no, drawing tayo ng dalawang altitudes. So ito, the B altitude and the C altitude. So the intersection, that's H. D, let's relabel this to H. Okay, and then I don't want the lines drawn to say nakakagulo. Okay. So the orthocenter is there. What I would like to draw are the following. Hold on, sandali ah. Okay. For the sides, midpoints. I need the midpoints. Okay. But I'm afraid if let me remove the labels kasi sobra silang nakakagulo. Just the points themselves. And let me remove the labels. So those are the midpoints. Okay. So, pero liitan ko nung color, size nila. Let's make it size 3. But for the midpoints, let me use the color for consistency with the September 21 figure. I'm having a look at it right now. For the midpoints, I'm going to use blue. Okay. Color blue. Okay. Oops, sobrang liit naman. Hindi na makita. Sige, lakihan ko ng konti. Okay, 5. Okay, so those are the midpoints. Tapos, I also need apparently the
Sakit.
Start it.
Gold blue lang.
Ito na sensor Samsung.
Sa akin daw. Tinanggal ko. Hindi ko nga matatanggap ko.
Ay, no, X.
Wala nga, hindi sa akin to. Okay. No.
I wish nahanap ko kanina. All right. Okay. Ito. Bumalik ako sa notebook. Okay. Application. Okay. Of homotheties on the 9-point circle. Okay. So ngayon, medyo familiar na tayo a little bit about homotheties. Gagamitin ko siya in proving that the 9 points are actually concyclic, but there are a couple of things that we need. Okay, so let me take care of that first. Okay. So triangle A, B, C. A, B, C. And then this is the orthocenter.
Kahit na ano po, kahit na ano lang, sketch lang. They seem to be
Okay.
compact.
All right, so sketch lang. So you have all these 90-degree angles here. And then, para naman hindi kahiya-hiya, hindi ka lunos-lunos, circumcenter.
Or completer.
Circumcircle.
Na lang.
Medyo mas matagal eh. So ito, all right, okay. I could have done this in GeoGebra, pero andito na. Ganito. Claim, okay. Okay, claim 1. The reflection of H over BC is on the circle of triangle ABC. In other words, if we take the reflection, ito nung point H, kung kukunin mo nung reflection, apparently, it would have to be this point. So nung point na yun.
It appears very much so po.
Okay. Did you remember us having done this before or
Hindi pa.
not yet? Hindi pa. Kasi, okay, so it's good to go back to this. I thought we did this already. So, so ganito nung proof natin. Okay. Extend AH to meet the circumcircle at point M. Tuwagin natin, hindi, wag M. Gawin na lang natin Q. Pag M kasi parang may kinalaman sa midpoint. Okay. So AH is an altitude, so we still have that 90-degree angle there. Okay, so ito nung point Q. So to show that Q is the reflection of H, we need to show na itong distance na to is the same as this distance. Okay, na pareho lang yun. Medyo mas malaki nung nasa baba, but then that's a limitation of my drawing. Okay, but those two braced segments, we want to show that they are congruent. So here's one way to do that. Let's consider ano lang, mga angles. Ito hindi ko na isusulat nung what they are. Diretso na ako sa drawing. Let's call this angle X and itong angle na to Y. Okay. So angles X and Y. And then I'd like us to look at this figure. BQ. Okay, no BQ. Ito, let me call this W. And ito, Z. Ang goal natin is to show that X is equal to W and Y is equal to Z. Okay? Kasi if X equals W and Y is equal to Z, mangyayari nung BH, C, and then Q, with Q, magiging ano siya, parang kite. Actually, hindi lang parang. It's gonna be a kite. And if it's a kite, kasi if itong angle na to, pareho with this angle, and this angle is congruent to that angle, then that would make BHC and BQC congruent triangles. They are in fact going to be reflections of each other. So that would be enough to show that Q is the reflection of H. Or in other words, the reflection of H is on the circle of ABC, right?
Abo.
Okay, so those purple angles are showing that they're equal to each other. That's all we need. And this can be done by a simple angle chasing. Kasi nung X, this is angle, so let me call these D and then E and F. So X is angle.
But why po? Kasi dapat D should be on the AC and then E on AD.
Parang kasi nung matching natin is ano kung ano nung nasa, halimbawa, nung A, kung ano nung opposite nung A, siya nung uunahin natin sa sorting. So kaya D. And then what's opposite B, it would be E. And what's opposite C, ayun nung F. Right? Okay, kasi kung kunwari, instead of E dito nung D ilalagay mo, then parang that's just going clockwise, A to D, pero between clockwise and counterclockwise, parang arbitrary yun eh. So no opposite na lang. So that's why in a standard if you follow, D is opposite A. So anyway, angle X is angle EBC. But then that's also going to be equal to this. So that's going to be equal to angle, okay, DAC. And you're probably asking why? Because both are complementary to angle C.
Ah,
Kita mo yun nung EBC, ito kasi yun nung, okay, EBC, 90-degree angle yun, di ba? So ito nung X, so complementary siya dito sa angle C. But then now if you look at angle D, a triangle DAC, okay, ADC, okay, this is the same angle. So if this is 90 degrees minus X, so this is 90 degrees minus X, and then AD you have a 90-degree angle. So therefore, this must be X. So DAC is also angle X. All right, so it's a matter of tracing the situation in the drawing. So, ayun na, wala tayong mga Menelaus, wala mga ganun, mga angles lang tayo. Okay, DAC.
alternate
And then finally, can you now see bakit nung W and X have to be equal?
kite.
This must be equal. So, well, no, DAC, ito, let me write it in case it would help. QAC, angle QAC. QAC, and I'm going to write this as being equal to angle QBC. QBC. You know why? QAC and QBC. What relates? What's so special about them? A and B are both on the circle. Yung center point parehong nasa circle. QAC is an inscribed angle for arc QC.
QBC, yes, di ko kala ko po kasi QAD, hindi ko nakita yung QBC.
Ito. QAC, andito na tayo. QAC and QBC.
Yan.
They subtend the same arc. So they are all right. Quezon City inscribed angles which subtend the same arc QC. But then angle QBC is W. So that's why. And then similarly, by the same reasoning, Y is equal to Z. Okay, Q is equal to W, Y is equal to Z. So therefore, BHC, the reflection of triangle BHC across BC is triangle BQC. Okay, so the reflection of H is Q on the circumcenter, on the circumcircle. So this is the case not just with D, but also with the other feet of the altitudes. So halimbawa, nung H, ang partner niya, okay, across D is this point. So similarly, if you now look at H, but if you reflect H across the side AC, ang reflection niya will be this point on the circle. Okay, and if you now consider H, but this time we reflect it across AB, the reflection will be also on the circumcircle. All right? Okay. One other claim. Claim number 2. Still with the drawing na lang ulit. Or to center ulit.
Log libro. Saan na napunta yung log libro po?
Okay, babalik pa tayo sa 9-point circle, ha? Alright, so A, B, C. And
Sir,
then,
meron pa rin po ba yan?
yes.
Yun, ano, di ba, parang nakita ko dati, bago mag-pandemic, parang meron, ano po, yung Olympiad sa geometry, which was held at Ateneo.
Oh, the Iran Geometry Olympiad.
Meron pa po rin.
Meron pa nun pero hindi na ako ang nag-organize nun eh. Tapos ang problema kasi since pandemic and then actually I don't know kailan nung next na pag-organize nun.
Ay lang.
Hindi ko alam eh. Basta should be sometime maybe October nga. Parang ano siya, ginawa siya by invitation. So
Okay.
hindi siya open at talaga sa lahat. But it's the current team leader who organizes it. Tapos siya na din nung ano, right now siya nung pumipili kung sino nung i-invite. Okay. But if that's something that you're interested in, what I suggest is the questions are available online. And then you, Joshua, need to practice with ganito mga problems where you present arguments. So kailangan mo argument i-present at isulat. Okay? And with what we're doing, as you can see, medyo wala na tayo masyadong right now find the value or find the length. Right now, nandito na tayo medyo sa presenting arguments. Why is the reflection on the circle? And in fact, ito, this is another claim. This is the orthocenter H, and this is the midpoint M of BC. Okay. Claim number 2. The reflection of H with respect to M, which is the midpoint of BC. So this time, when you look at the reflection, okay, ng H, okay, ang gagawin natin ay draw a segment having the same length, but still in the same line. Our claim is that it's going to be there also on the also on the circumcircle. Okay. The reflection of H with respect to M is on the circumcircle of triangle ABC. Okay. So all right, I'm pausing a bit. I'm trying to remember how this goes. All right. So proof. Okay. Extend. Okay. HM to meet the circle at P. This time, this is our goal. The goal is to show that HM is equal to PM. Okay, so that's how we would be able to justify that P is the reflection. Kasi if we throw H over to the other side along the line connecting H and M, dapat sa P babagsak. So we want to show that HM and PM are the same. Okay, that would be our goal. Now, we are going to use our friend earlier, the reflection of H across BC. Okay, let's call this, what name did I give to
Ano
this?
po,
Q.
it's a secret tool we're going to use later.
Okay, so ito ng secret na gagamitin natin, no? Q. And then we know that this and this are congruent. Kasi nga, di ba, we just justified Q is the reflection of H across BC. Okay, now, we have to use the fact that M is the midpoint. So therefore, M M is on the perpendicular bisector. Ganito. Hold on, huh? Ah. Okay, because I have a meeting at 4:30. Balikan natin to next time. You might want to think about this, okay? The reflection of H with respect to the midpoint of BC is on the circle. Okay, so balikan natin. Now, okay, punta tayo dito sa GeoGebra. Okay, so we have the orthocenter H. Okay, so nandyan si orthocenter. Tapos, here's what I am going to do. I'm going to draw the reflection of the orthocenter across each of the sides. According to claim 1, the reflection should be on the circle, right? Okay, so ito, H, and then this segment, ayan na, H prime, nandun sa circle. Reflection of H across this line, nandun sa circle. Reflection of H across this line, nandun sa circle. Okay. And then let me color that with a different color. Red. Okay. And let me remove the labels. Red. And then let's remove the labels. The style size is, sige, 6. Medyo malaki because it's on the large circle. Okay. And then H is ito. It's gonna play a significant role. So let me assign it a color, ito, pink. Okay. Tapos there are other points on the circle of ABC. If we reflect H across the midpoints shown in blue. So reflect about the point. H, reflection with respect to this point. Ayun na, nandun sa circle. H, reflection across this point, and then sa circle. H across this midpoint, and then sa circle. Let me remove the labels and change them to blue para ma-match natin ano nung mga reflections. Blue, and then remove the labels. So far, what I have here are 6 points on the circle. Let me add and highlight the vertices themselves.
9 points.
Let me color them green. So 9 points now. What are these points? They are 9 points on the circumcircle. Now let's apply a homothety center H, but scaling factor 1/2. Okay, so scaling factor 1/2. So if you take, for example, this particular point, and then from H going to that particular point, and then when you apply a homothety scale factor 1/2, so the image would be this particular blue point on side BC, right?
Abo.
Okay, let me remove this segment. Okay, para hindi makagulo. Okay. So now, on the other hand, if I apply that homothety on the red points, remember, itong red points are the reflections of H across the sides of the triangle. So if you apply a homothety of scale 1/2, the image would be on the sides naman. Kasi that's gonna be, kumbaga, what we're doing is, we're looking at the midpoints.
So essentially po, by proving that, kumbaga i-homocity niyo po lahat ng mga points niyan. Para we can prove na since all of those the big the larger scaled points are already concyclic, then it means that if we homothety them and then make them smaller, then it is also
There,
concyclic.
yes, and those resulting 9 points are what define the 9-point circle.
Epic.
Okay, epic na. So ito, drawing na lang natin. Tapos, so hold on. Ng mga altitudes, ano ba? Midpoint na nga lang. From here to here, here to there, and to the red points. So, all right.
It also explains po why the radiuses of the 9-point circle
It's
is 1/2 of the circle.
1/2. Actually, doon tayo pupunta. It's another argument for the 1/2, for the 1/2 number. Okay. So 5. All right, and then let's remove the labels. Okay. Tapos, this time naman, ang a-apply natin ng homothety nung vertices. Bakit ng A, dapat green yan. Okay, green. So tapos this time, midpoints naman from H to the 3 vertices.
Po,
H2A.
canary yellow. Canary yellow.
So a green, and then let's remove the labels. Scanner yellow. Wala, ano ba? Ang hirap nang makita nun malamang 5. Okay. So ganito. Okay. So you have 9 points on the circumcircle, and then
It totally does not appear po that they form a circle.
but apparently they will form a circle. Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, hold on. The center, H is the center of the homothety, but what's gonna happen is the circle through 3 points. Ayun.
What? Epic.
But you already anticipated that's what's gonna happen. We identified 9 points on the circumcircle. We applied a homothety to each of those 9 points.
So
The
essentially
homothety. Okay.
The center is much more important. It's basically yung ano po yung parang light source nung
Pero actually, so H is the center of the homothety. Pero ganito. So the homothety makes the circumcircle and the 9-point circle correspond to each other. Okay. Now O is the center of the circumcircle. Therefore, for the 9-point circle, its center will be what you get. So you apply a homothety with center H to O with scale factor 1/2. So that would lead to the midpoint. Oh, exacto N. Oh. All right, so that's why the center of the 9-point circle is the midpoint of H and O. Okay, but it's also neat when you think of it in terms of homotheties.
Nice.
Okay, so nice. So ganito na lang because it's already 4:29. Let me just send a message to hold on.
At saka na paano po pa-send po ulit ng bagong OneNote link nag-expire.
Oh yeah, hold on. Okay.
colorful beads.
Wait. So ito H, N, and O. So sa original circle, kulayan natin na. So ito coloring na lang nung. Alright. And then, ano bang color?
Dark blue.
Yellow? Canary yellow? Is that canary yellow? It's just yellow
Yung
la. I
dark
don't know.
yellow po. Yung dark yellow yung ano eh. Canary yellow.
Ito ba? Dark yellow? Is that it?
Opo, yun po.
Sige. I guess that will do. Okay. So, there. Para mas makita natin how they correspond to each other. Alright. So, let me paste this.
Very epic.
So it's nice. And then na-explain din niya kaagad ng nung 1/2.
Parang light source. Yung H.
Uh,
Very ano pala po yung orthocenter ah. Meron siyang, it has more
Ah.
significance than it was than
Yeah.
it is.
So, ang galing, no? So, parang, so, circumcenter, so circumcircle, okay, if you apply the homothety, okay, with center H and a scale factor 1/2, the resulting image will be the 9-point circle of triangle ABC. So circumcircle of triangle ABC. So that means when you apply the same homothety, O will be brought to N. And so that means the center of the 9-point circle must be the midpoint of H and O, because that's the point halfway from H going to O. All right, so that's fun, but the only thing that we still need to justify is claim number 2. So show that HM is equal to PM. Okay, we I think have to use the fact that nung okay, so we want to show that HM equals PM, right? Nung purple segments. We already know the green segments from H to Q na babisect sila. And then you have this 90-degree angle here. So you can show HM is equal to PM if you can show that BM, or rather BC, is BC parallel to QP? In the question, BC parallel to QP. Okay, but because you have a 90-degree angle here, then that seems to suggest that we should also have a 90-degree angle there. But question mark has said that needs to be justified. But if you have a 90-degree angle there, then that means from here, from A to Q to P, if you have a 90-degree angle there, then that means AP is a diameter. Is AP a diameter? So if you can show that, then that would work. So that would be sufficient. Again, because if AP is a diameter, then that would mean you have that 90-degree angle at Q. But because here at S, you have that 90-degree angle, then that would imply BC and QP are parallel. And if BC and QP are parallel, then because S is the midpoint of HQ, that would mean M is the midpoint of HP. All right. Okay. So claim number 2, let's pick things up from here. And ang gusto ko talagang pag-usapan ng next, other than transformations, geometry, proving things in geometry using vectors. All right, Joshua. So for next time. And we have problems.
Proving naman po the 10-point circle, and then the 12-point, 10, 11-point circle, then the 12.
Okay, prove that the circle has at least 12 points. Proof, well, it has infinitely many points. Therefore, it has more than 12 points, in fact.
Ano po, 9 point, prove that this circle contains 9 interesting points. I mean,
Okay.
the circle can contain an infinite number of points.
Okay, prove that it has 9 interesting points. So proof, I have a survey and the survey respondents said that these points are interesting. Because you have to argue. You said interesting. Sige nga, interesting nga ba? All right, hey. So that's it. Have a good day, and I'm happy that you're back to where you live, and that we were not greatly inconvenienced by the superstorm.
Okay po.
Apo.
Thank you po.
Right.
Sige po.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye po.